Hi there, this is Professor Warsi. Today, I'll show you how to pronounce American English consonants. We will also learn the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants. So let's get started. Our goals for today's lesson are to recognize and pronounce the 25 American English consonant sounds. So there are a total of 25 consonants in American English. We will also understand the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants. Categorize consonants by place and manner of articulation. We will learn how to pronounce each and every consonant. We will also practice minimal pairs and consonant-focused pronunciation exercises, and we'll go over some common pronunciation errors that students make and how to avoid them. So let's start. What are consonants, you ask? Consonants are speech sounds that are produced by obstructing, blocking airflow in various ways within the vocal tract. Now, consonants differ from vowels in that they involve contact or near contact between articulators, such as your tongue, your lips, and your teeth. So let's look at some examples. B in bat, k in cat, and s in sip. Okay, so I said earlier that we will learn to differentiate between voiced and voiceless consonants. Voiced consonants are produced when the vocal cords vibrate. So I need you to do a test with me. Put your index finger on your vocal cords here, okay? And repeat after me. B, d, g, z. Did you feel a vibration in your vocal cords? That is why these consonants are called voiced consonants. Now let's look at some voiceless consonants. When we pronounce the voiceless consonants in American English, the vocal cords do not vibrate. Some examples of voiceless consonants are p, t, k, s. Did you notice that the vocal cords do not vibrate? So that is why they're called voiceless consonants. We'll also look at some example pairs. Okay? B is voiced. Again, P is voiceless. D, voiced, versus T, voiceless. Okay, so I am going to pronounce all 25 American English consonants for you. I need you to repeat after me. Okay? 1, P, as in pat. A pat on your shoulder. Someone says, good job. That's a pat. 2, B, as in bat. 3 is T, as in top. 4 is D, as in dog. 5, K, cat. 6, G, go. 7, F, fan. 8, V, van. 9, th, as in think. 10, the, as in this. 11, s, as in sip. 12, z, as in zip. 13, sh, as in shh, be quiet. Shoe. 14, j, as in measure. 15, as in hat. 16, ch, as in chair. 17, j, as in judge. 18, as in man. 19, n as in nose. And 20, ng as in sing. Now 18, 19, and 20 are called nasal consonants. So if you pinch your nose and try to pronounce these three nasal consonants, you'll find it very difficult. Let's see. No. It's hard, right? M as in man, n, nose, ng, sing, singer. 21, l as in lip. 22, as in red. 23, w as in win. 24, y as in yes. 25, wh as in wheel or where. So we went over voiced and voiceless consonants. This time we will learn them again just for practice. Voiced consonants, as you just learned, when we pronounce them, the vocal cords vibrate. So we will do this again. Put your index finger on your vocal cords and pronounce these words. B, blade. D, deer. G, gate. V, video. Z, zebra. N, nose. Now let's pronounce the voiceless consonants in which the vocal cords do not vibrate. Let's try this again. P, plate. T, talk. K, kale. F, fail. S, soon. Some examples of voiced consonants, as you just learned, are b, bad, m, mad, and voiceless consonants, s, sat, k, cat. Okay, moving on. So we will go over each type of consonants. Okay, plosives. So they're easy to pronounce. What you do is put your palm, right or left, in front of your mouth, okay? And then pronounce these sounds, and you will feel a puff on your palm, okay? Airflow coming out of your mouth. Okay. P, b. Vocal cords vibrate, so this time you will not feel a puff. T, okay? D, nothing. K, puff. G, nothing. There's no airflow coming out of your mouth when you produce a voiced consonants. So the manner of articulation for the plosive consonants, this is how we pronounce them. A complete closure before you let out a burst of air. Voiced consonants are b as in bat, d as in date, and g as in gate. Okay? Grass. Voiceless consonants are p, p, as in plate, t as in tail, k as in kite. Okay? Fricative consonants. So you make a narrow constriction in the oral cavity inside your mouth and then produce these sounds, these consonants, by forcing air. So in order to produce these fricative consonants, make sure that you force air through your mouth. So touch your lower lip with your upper teeth and say f, f, v, 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 f, f, s, s, z, z, sh, sh, zh, zh. Voiced consonants are v as in video, v as in these, z, zebra, and sh as in pleasure. Voiceless consonants, or f as in farm, th as in three, s as in saint, sh as in sure, and h as in horse. Now let's now look at some affricate consonants. Affricate consonants are a combination of a stop and a fricative. Some examples of affricate consonants are ch, ch as in chair, j, j as in judge. So notice when you produce these sounds, the airflow stops first, and then the airflow is released. So j, j, and then you let go. Remove your tongue, right? Judge. So voiced consonants, affricate consonants, so j, as you just learned, and voiceless consonants there's just one of them, is ch, ch, as in child. Nasal consonants, if you remember, just a couple minutes ago, I pinched my nose. I couldn't produce the nasal consonants. Man, nose, sing. Now notice that these consonants are all voiced consonants. You could test it by just putting your index finger on your vocal cords. Man, nose, sing. Okay? There are approximate consonants in American English. So they do not create turbulent airflow. The airflow doesn't come out of your mouth as forcefully as it does in other consonants, especially affricates. As in late, as in rain, what as in wall, j as in jail, as in wheel. Again, all approximate consonants are voiced. So, place of articulation. You may be saying, what do you mean by place of articulation, Professor Warsi? A place of articulation is the location in the mouth where the airflow is stopped or obstructed. So there are bilabial consonants in English where you join your lips, okay, or manipulate the lips. P, p. When you pronounce this voiceless consonant, imagine blowing a candle, right? On a birthday cake, there are candles, and you go. So say p, p, as in please, but as in bait, main, waist. Labiodental. Now these sounds are called labiodental. Labio means lips and dental means your teeth. So pronounce these two consonants, labiodental consonant, bite your lower lip with your upper teeth, and do the same for as in vitamin. Dental consonants. This time you bite your tongue, the blade of your tongue, okay? Oh, thank you. Thank you. These, those. Alveolar consonants. They involve the alveolar ridge. It's the ridged area right behind your upper teeth, up in your oral cavity. So the tip of your tongue touches the alveolar ridge, like this. Time, down, sink, zebra, name, late. Palatal sounds we involve the hard palate. Shame, measure, child, Germany, yellow. Velar consonants are k as in kangaroo, g as in grill, ng, singer. Glottal consonants are h as in high, high, or how. Manner of articulation and IPS symbols. Now this is important for you. Let's suppose you are reading out loud and you do not know how to pronounce a word. You can look up the word and the IPS symbols. All right. Stops. Stop sounds are. You see between the forward slashes, there are 6 stop consonants, and those are the IPS symbols. These are not letters. It's important for you to learn. They are sounds. P, b, t, d, k, g. Fricatives. F, v, th, the, s, z, sh, j, h. Affricates. Ch, j. Nasals. M, n, ng. Approximants. L, w, y, and hua. So those are 25 sounds. And you learned them before, but it's good for practice and reinforcement. So how are these sounds produced? As you just learned, stop consonants are produced by making a complete closure, and then airflow. Air is released. P, p, paint. Fricatives, there is continuous friction. These are not stops, right? Airflow continues to come out of your mouth, and there's a narrow opening, such as s, s. Approximants. W, as in want. Stop and fricative combination, they're called affricates. The ch, as in children, and nasal sounds. M, as in monkey. Okay, so can you identify the consonant sounds in these words? The initial consonant sounds in these words. So take a couple of minutes maybe and do this exercise. Stop the video, pause the video, and then I will show you the answers. Okay? Minimal pairs. What are minimal pairs? The minimal pairs are 2 words that differ by only one sound. So there's only one sound that is different, but it changes the meaning of the word. So p versus b. Pat versus bat. You see? So there's one sound that is different. The first one is p. In the second word, it's b. Pat versus bat. T versus d. 10 versus den, or 2 versus do. S versus z. Sip versus zip. Ch versus j. Jump versus jump. So these are called minimal pairs. And it's important for you to pronounce the consonants clearly, because if you mispronounce, if you're trying to say jump and you say jump, the listener will be confused, because jump is a different word. It means something different than jump. Okay? Moving on. Here's another exercise for you. Repeat these words, focusing on the consonants, and notice mouth movements and airflow. So I will not pronounce these words for you. I need you to pronounce them. Okay? Practice. You need to practice English pronunciation. Okay. Did you pronounce the words correctly? The first one is d. The second is fish. The third one is z, zip. 4 is k. And 5 is h. Now notice Number 4, the word is spelled with a C, C-A-T, but the sound is K. Okay? So in English, it's important to know that English does not have orthographic pronunciation. So words are not pronounced the way they are spelled, which is the case in Spanish. So that is why it's easier to pronounce Spanish words than it is to do with English. All right? Okay. Identify the consonants. So I am going to pronounce these words for you, and you need to identify the initial consonant. Okay. Ready? Let's do it. 1, mat. 2, nose. 3, fan. 4, chip. 5, red. Okay? Did you identify the initial consonants? Here they are. M, N, F, Ch, and Okay. Now, I need you to pronounce these 5 sounds and decide if the consonants are voiced or voiceless. Now, remember, we learned this earlier. We learned the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants. Right? Now is your time to practice pronouncing these consonants and decide if they are voiced or voiceless. So, pause this video at this point and practice. It should take you no longer than a minute, maybe. Okay. So I'll wait for you to pronounce these sounds and I'll show you the answers. 1 is voiced, B. 2 is voiceless, T. 3 is voiceless, S. 4 is voiced, G. And 5 is voiceless, F. Okay. So I am going to again pronounce these 10 words, and I need you to write down the consonants you hear. Now, when I say consonants, I mean initial consonants, the first consonant in each word. Okay? So listen to me carefully and have like a pen ready and write down the consonants. Okay? Are you ready? 1, cat. 2, zip. 3, love. 4, phone. 5, this. 6, measure. 7, ship. 8, jam. 9, kite. 10, man. Okay, here are the answers. Did you write down all of the consonants correctly? Very good. If you did not get it, it's okay. All right? No worries. You are students of English, so it's okay to make mistakes. That is how we learn a new language. Okay. Now, remember we went over the IPA, right? Which stands for International Phonetic Alphabet. So I've given you the IPA symbols, okay? In the left and on the right side, you have words. Now your job is to match the two up. Which one do you think is 1? Is it A? Is it B? C? D? Or E? I suggest that you pronounce each sound and then see which word starts with it. All right? Here are the answers. 1 is C, ch, as in children. 2 is D, ng, as in singer. 3 is E, zh, as in pleasure. 4 is A, th, as in 3. And 5 is B, j, as in jump. Okay, very good. So let's go over some very common pronunciation errors that some students of English make. They confuse th and s. Think, I think, and I think. and that happens because think is pronounced by touching your upper teeth with your tongue. Think. And sink, there's no contact between the tongue and the teeth. Some people do not distinguish between v and w. So instead of saying voice, they say voice. Or saying love, love, I love you, they will say I love you, love you. So v and w. Okay? So pronounce the two and distinguish between them. Replacing j with z, or omitting final consonants, which is very confusing to the listener, to native English speakers. Hat. Remember, there is a consonant at the end. T, t. It's an alveolar, voiceless consonant. Okay? Hat, hat. Some students drop the final consonant. They say hat, hat. My hat, hat. Another example is saying Y instead of wife. My wife called me. My wife called me. That's confusing. Difficulty with and l, such as right and light, name and lame, rate and late, wrong. This is wrong. And this movie is really long. Wrong and long. We're almost done. Just a couple of key points that I want to recap with you. Remember, there are 25 American English consonants. How are they classified? They're classified by voicing, voiced or voiceless, place, and manner of articulation. So you may be remembering all of this because we just went over each one of them. Examples include stops, fricative, affricates, nasals, and approximants. Do you remember each one of them? These are different types of consonants depending on the manner and articulation. Now, I need you to practice minimal pairs, listen to the radio, news, watch TV, take quizzes. There's so many online resources. And listen. Watch a movie and listen to the actors. Okay? And pay attention to how they pronounce words. So these exercises will help you improve pronunciation. Minimal pairs. Remember, we went over light, right, sip, zip, rate, and late. Okay? So very good. We've gotten this far. Before we end this lesson, let me give you some tips for practicing American English consonants. As I just said, practice minimal pairs, okay, such as rate and late. Use a mirror to check articulation. Now, I showed you, I use my hand and use my index finger to do this, or showed you, these are the tips. Here, touch your teeth, touch your upper teeth with your tongue, as in the. So it would be good for you to stand in front of a mirror, look in the mirror, pronounce these consonant sounds, and just pay attention how you're articulating them. Try audio shadowing, feel your throat for voiced sounds, record yourself and play back or to self-correct. Oftentimes, we do not realize how we sound, like how people hear us. So it would be good for you to have an English passage, a paragraph written in English, and record, speak into the microphone and record, and then play back. And then you say, oh, this is how I sound when I speak English. All right? And then you can correct your pronunciation. So thank you for taking this lesson. Keep practicing, work hard, and improve your pronunciation. I will see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.